yeah, once you've got to spend a lot of time making a mould or plug to take a mould off, and then once you've got that, you just toss them out. You do take about one a day off a mould. So you have 2 moulds. You just keep one in the afternoon and one in the morning, taking them out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's very easy. You're talking them out, and then to fit them out, one man does one easy in a week. It's less than a week, so you're talking about like 4 days to put the keyless and fit them out. So you're talking about four days labour on a 16-foot boat instead of 3 months.
And as sturdy as a wooden built boat, or not?
Well, the only problem is that they're all the same.
Mm.
You can't come along and say, I want one a bit bigger, I want one a bit fatter for doing this, I want one what carry a bit more because I'm going to carry a lot of nets. You can't alter the shape unless you make another mould. And if you make a mould, you want to be, the amount of time it takes to make a mould, you want to be working on knocking at least 100 off that mould to make it pay for the tooling and the jigging up.
Do you know if have there been any sort of orders from fishermen on this coast in recent years for any type of cobble, or are we looking at ones that are left to have been around for quite a while?
I don't know. I think the last ones I built was back end of the 70s, early 80s.
Did you build the one called the Three Brothers? This is the one at, is it the one at the Bridlington Museum?
Oh no, that's an old one.
Mm.
Oh no, that's a very early one.
That's a renovated one, is it?
That's a renovated one, yeah. That's a very early one, that, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And that's a sailing cobble. It's quite an early one then, is it?
That's, yeah, fairly old one, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's well pre-war, that one.
So the ones that have cabs on there, it's quite a nice luxury for the fishermen, but it doesn't awfully look very good, I don't think. It takes away from that design.
It does, it spoils them. They were pretty, a pretty boat, really. When you see them, you see them working in the sea, they really are pretty. And they take to the sea, love it. I mean, they're like a duck on the water, they just bob about and they're happy when they're out at sea in a bit of weather.
Do you think they'll ever come back in any fashion for sailing, or anyone will order some?
I think it would be quite good on this coast if you was to standardise about 23 or 4 foot sailing one and have a class of boat. If you got fed up with modern yachts and things, because modern yachts are fairly easy to sail, it's just a matter of tweaking them to get an extra mile an hour out of them to win races. If you had a cobble, you'd have to
challenge.
You'd have to be well taught to sail one. You know, it would there would be a lot of skill involved in racing them, and they did race them at one time.
You want to stop it there for a minute, Eric? We're on.
Oh, these are cobble oars, made in 2 pieces, fine thin piece made of ash, and the top end which is heavy, and it's also loaded with lead. They're just lashed together so that if you break that one, you carry a spare one and you lash another one on. They then fit over there, and you would row out through the waves, and through the waves you come to put your mast up, and that just...
Well, the mast would be kept down normally, would it?
For launching.
Yeah.
You kept it down for launching, unless it was a flat sea.
Yeah.
Flat sea.
Yeah.
So you've got a slot there, you walk your mast back, it goes up in there, and you drop your blocking, and that basically holds it. You sail out, you've got to hook on your traveller, hook it on depending on which way you're going to, or the wind you want to be. A sailing pin under there. And up goes the same. That goes back underneath the pin, and it just locks behind there. So nothing is actually fast, you've just got to click that out of the way and the sail drops. You pull your tack down, you've got your sheet there, your rudder then goes on because it can't be on while you're in shallow water. And you've got a tiller, which the tiller can either be up there or you can lower it down and you can have it way down if you want. So it's normally about there for sailing. Your bowsprit, which is really a small mast. It's identical to that mast but shorter. So that if you have a breakage of your main mast, you can use your bowsprit. And that just goes on there and lashes down. But we haven't got a sail yet for it. So
How many men would you have on this boat?
200 lad usually. And you have bags of sand or gravel or rocks to put in on your weather side to try and keep it upright.
That's ballast.
So that's ballast, yeah, that's the ballast. And then of course you use your men for ballast as well. They would move round
Yeah.
depending on how much wind there was and which direction the wind you was going.
Why is the sail shaped like that?
It's just very simple. It's just about as simple a sail as you could get.
Why not?
Dead easy.
Why not square?
Because you want as much wind going off that to get your speed. You gather your wind up and then the wind follows through. It actually, when you've got it set right, this becomes an aerofoil shape and it directs the wind round, and the more wind you get going off there, the faster you move. You have a series of eyes on there. If you're going to go downwind, you'd put it near the middle. If you're going upwind, you'd come down an eye or two.
So you can adjust the sail for varying conditions.
For varying conditions, yeah. And then of course you've got all these little reef points. If you want to reef down, if you're getting too much wind, you let it go down a bit and you hook. You've got little hooks in there. And you take it at either side, you go up one, and then you fasten all these little reef points right the way along, and that takes a slab out of your sail. And it's a lot easier to explain if it was a full size one.
Yeah, he's done very well.
So, right, you want the bits?
The construction of the boat. No.
We've sort of done that.
Construction, I think with
Which was the skep? Is that what they? Have you heard that terminology?
skitboard, scuttboard.
Mm,
That's the scuttboard
right.
on there.
In the Filey couples, they had an area where they put the fish. And they called it the skep, which sort of relates,
Oh,
as far as I know, to a basket.
Yeah, a skep is a basket, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The rudder's quite interesting. You've got very long pins on it, and it's made so that if it jumps up, if you hit the bottom, it jumps up. It'll go back. You just slide up and go down. You've also got those ties which come over the edge in case it does get knocked and knocked right off. The tiller, that's made so that it can be up, or the shape of that is made so that it can be up or it can be way down if you want it. You want to fasten it behind there.
Is that made of oak or larch?
The that's larch, and this is usually ash.
Ash.
The tiller. Ash is a very whippy wood, strong and whippy. You've got the usual gun whales, or whales as they're known as. That's your shear plank. That rubbing strip along there, that's known as the bins. And then underneath the planks you've got what they call listings. And they're just to protect the edge of just a little quarter round, just to protect the edge of the planks. If you're going to go crabbing or something, you put doublings on, you put a piece of 1/2 inch timber on each one for the pots to bash against. And then you can just replace them. You've obviously got your ribs inside, your thwarts, your seats, and behind those you've got knees. They're like little brackets what stiffen the whole thing up. That's your breast hook on the front end, holding all the front together. That's your tack of your sail, where you pull your tack through. And there's some more bits of iron to go on this before I've finished, just to stiffen them.
So on your front piece, your bowsprit, you could have another small quarter sail.
A jib. Yeah, you have a jib.
Yeah.
Little triangular jib on this.
Yeah.
And that adjusts in and out too, so you just get it balanced. So when you're sailing the cobble, you should always be, if it's on this tack, you should always just be pulling a little bit on the tiller. And then if you get a puff of wind comes, it just turns straight into wind. If you get it trimmed so you're pushing on that and you get a puff of wind, it'll go straight round and roll. Oh, it'll frighten you. So you should always have just that what they call weather helm, a little bit of weather helm on it. So you've got to balance on these and on your jib to get it just balanced. Once you get it balanced right, they really do move, and they're great fun sailing.
So you can get your fish home as quickly as possible.
That's the idea. Yep. It's no good catching a lot of fish, is it? And sitting and watching the flies get it.
No.
And when they went well off, when they went 40 mile off.
Did they?
Yeah. They must have been fairly hard men.
Oh yeah.
To go off in little boats like that.
Were the sails always that colour, or did they have different coloured sails?
The sails, they're usually this colour. They had, it's what they call barking. It's basically made of oak bark boiled up, and it was a sort of preservative. And they also dipped the pots in it, but they got all the bark off oak trees and boiled it up in a tub, and it's basically tannic acid.
Mm-hmm.
And they had all sorts of different things they put on the sail, like old cod oil and anything to preserve them. There's quite a few different formulas for it, but they tried. It was obviously they were made of hemp and cotton.
Mm-hmm.
So if they'd just been left plain cotton, they would have rotted in no time, and they'd be very expensive things to have made. What else? I could show you how it rolls if you like.
Mm.
Shall I just take it out to pieces and we'll start again? Yeah, just click it off a minute.
We're on.
That roll. Right. If you can see, all the draft is at the front end. There's no draft at the back. That's so that you can back up the beach and you can more or less step out onto dry land.
So it goes on like a sledge on those runners.
At the back, yeah, on your little bilge keels. If we look at the front, it's very, very fine there. So that is the same as the keel on a yacht, but it's at the front on a cobble. And to keep it strong, so you can go way over, you have this what they call tumble helm on there. So you'll actually go way over and you've still got the strength. And if you get to the beach and you do get rolled over, with it being barrel shaped, it'll just roll. It'll roll on the beach, and you can just roll itself straight over again and come back empty, hopefully. If you leave a cobble to what they call knock up, if you just leave it on the beach and the tide's coming in, it'll always go with its front into the waves. They won't go sideways, they just go that way around and they just go back, work the way back, what they call knocking up. Underneath it, they're really nicely shaped. And you can do a spin. That's it. Right, where can we go from there? What have we missed?
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Construction.
We sort of talked about that, haven't we? Already?
Have we?
Yeah.
It might be better. Might be better with one of them half-built models.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
want to pick that up tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're on. We can just clear all the.
We'll get close on that.
Right, we're on there now, yeah.
Right, but this is the rudder. Obviously, very strong at the top, tapering off to the bottom. Curve on the bottom so that if it accidentally hit the beach, it would push upwards. Very long pins so that it can push up quite a way before it comes adrift. You've got a rope either side holding it in case it does come. It does go off because you're totally lost without a rudder. The fittings, iron fittings, but instead of going straight across, they curve them two ways. So the normal place to brake isn't weakened at all and it's supported either side. So you stand a lot more chance when you're locking over that it doesn't break.
So these early boat designers knew all about stress and strain and engineering design, even though they had